I'd say it just depends on what you mean. Like, is it stats? Because that's probably the first Rams game. We held them pretty well. But if you're talking turnovers, we had two pick sixes the first game of the season. We did well against Carolina, just containing them, in a great back. Uh, yeah, I'd say between Tampa, Carolina, and the Redskins game, but that was just kind of a mud bowl, and just wasn't a lot of offense. Period. So we played some great games in the playoffs that weren't as close as the score really indicated. Um, so I'd say we've saved our best for last. So the last two have probably been our best. Yeah, I think they understand it, but they also aren't. I don't know how to explain it. Just they aren't overcome, overwhelmed by the moment. They appreciate it. They understand that this is the last game of the season. This is for everything, but it's not as much of a sense of pressure as it is as a sharpening of a knife. You know what I mean. Everybody's really sharp. Everybody's really detailed. Everybody understands how sharp and detailed you have to be to win this game, and you have to be on it all the time. Like I said before, there could be any one play that wins or loses you the game, and I think our team understands that. I'm not going to answer it if I've asked it. Yeah, yeah, he's talkative. Oh, it just came through this morning, and they had tested me after the NFC Championship too, and for the P test, you kind of get multiple of those if you haven't taken them during the year, but for the blood, it's so rare that you get them, and there's almost I've never gotten them. I can almost honestly say I don't think anybody's ever gotten them in back-to-back weeks. They'd say the chances of that happening are infinitesimal, but apparently they're not when you're me. And the chances of them happening back-to-back weeks of the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, are probably astronomically low. But here we are. You got to ask the league. I don't have these questions. I didn't pull the name out the hat. You got to go ask the league. You ask them, and they'll probably have some odd response. Um, I mean, I have a new perspective just because my son gets to watch this one. He didn't get to watch the other ones. He was inside of a belly in one of them, and then he was swimming around in the other one. But that's a story for a different day. Yes, 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 yeah. I won the game this week. I was the best of the worst. Me and Travis were struggling through that game, but I was able to come out of it with a win. No, it was a pick six by Adrian Colbert, and they didn't update the rosters. So AC, you did it for us. Appreciate you. Yeah, 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 yeah. I started with 50,000, 60,000 that we had put in, and yeah, we're well over $1 million, million and a half of money raised, and we use all the money outside of the money for the cost because we've thrown some big events at like stadiums, and you got to pay for the cost of the stadium. But outside of that, all the money's gone to scholarships, school supplies, homeless supplies, um, every whatever we can do to help food for the homeless, gifts for homeless families on Christmas. Um, we it's such a big world and there's so many people that need help and obviously we can't help every single person in the world, but we try to help as many people as we can. We get more requests than we can answer, but I think that's what it's about. I think it's about helping as many people as you can with the resources that you're able to do it with. And if everybody helped one person, two people that were underprivileged, that were disadvantaged, that fell on hard times, I think the world would be a better place and we'd have less of that, and um, that'd be my only message, and that's the reason we do it. That's the reason my wife and I and my brother and my family, we all do what we can to help and pay it forward because that's what we're here for. If I ever fell on hard times and a hard luck, I would hope somebody, would reach out and give me a helping hand.
Nick Bosa, obviously, born into a football family, has the talent, but obviously winning another award like he did today with Rookie of the Year takes a lot more than that. What have you seen from him this season that you really appreciate?
Oh, I'm ecstatic for him. He deserves all that and more. He deserves more than what he got. He's a really hardworking guy. He's super humble. He just goes out there and fights every day. He doesn't complain. He doesn't say I need more snaps or less snaps. So, I mean, he's probably the most. I probably say like. Yeah, he's probably the lowest maintenance superstar in the league right now. The guy doesn't he doesn't care where he's sitting. He doesn't care where his locker is. He doesn't care if his pants are too big or did they give me the new cleats. He just straps it up and he goes out there and he puts on a show. And that's what you really appreciate about him. He's one of the most talented probably players to come out of the draft in probably 10, 15 years. And you never know it when you meet the kid. He's so humble. He's so down to earth. He just like, what do you need from me? What do you want me to do? And that's what he goes out there and does. And he's such a great teammate as well. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy in the locker room, and he deserves everything he's getting.
How has your appreciation grown being back to the school for a third time? Is it a different kind of perspective each time and experience, I guess?
Yeah, it's definitely different every time you get back. Some guys never make it to a Super Bowl, so you definitely appreciate the hard work and dedication and perseverance that it takes to make it back to the mountaintop. But it's definitely different when you have kids and your kids are old enough to understand and recognize where you are and what you're doing. And so that brings it all into perspective because when I first had my son, when I was a young kid, I wanted to have kids. And when I first started playing football, I was like, man, I'd love my kids to see me play because you see on the TVs all these great guys and their kids, on these stages, and you just pray that one day you can play well enough and have your son see you play at a high level. And that's one of the biggest blessings of this season is my son's got to see me play every game and got to understand and recognize what I'm doing. And like I said weeks ago, when I was talking to Josina, actually, he gave me the greatest compliment that I had gotten in a long time when we played Minnesota Vikings, and he was like, "Dad, you played a really good game." And I was like, "Yeah, like you know what I mean? You get all the compliments, you get all the awards, but when your own boy, because kids are innocent and they speak their truth. It doesn't matter. Like it's been games we come home and he's like, Dad, you guys really lost to that team and you didn't play well. And I really thought you were going to play better than that." And what do I say to him? You know what I mean? I just go out there and put more work in, you know what I mean? So you don't say it again. But that meant a lot to me. And it meant a lot for me to go out there and help my team win this game.
Is this like a sign that you're a dad now walking around in these leather loafers? What is this for you?
No, this is just a lifetime commitment of me since I was a freshman in high school. I would wear sweats and slippers, and all my friends from high school are like, "Man, you ain't never gonna change." And I'm like, "Well, I just don't." This is 17 years later.